Welcome. We're glad you've joined us. This video, Integrated Healthcare, an overview for AHCCCS members, is intended to share information about what integrated care is and what you can expect from receiving care that uses integrated practices and tools. Let's first start talking about integrated care by sharing a recent experience I had alongside one of my patients. While recently meeting with a patient the other day, they said that things seemed a bit different during this visit. They were asked some questions they're not normally asked and saw a couple of people they don't normally see during a visit. And when I came into the room, they asked me what was up. And knowing that because of some of these recent changes, I now had more time than usual, I said that we are embarking on a concept called integrated healthcare. I explained our team was trying some new practices and using some new tools. I said that in the past we would look to diagnose and treat medical conditions rather than treating the whole person with a focus on well-being rather than whether or not a certain lab value was in the right place. I said that moving forward as we develop truly integrated healthcare, we will spend a lot of time focusing on your preferences, your choices, and your goals. We've added new strategies to be able to take the time to engage and really understand you at a level beyond your typical medical care. We want to make sure that there are practical improvements like not having to fill out the same informational packet every time you see a doctor, retell your story over and over again, or rehash parts of your medical care that quite honestly, we should already know. To do this, we will be collaborating with other service providers to address your overall well-being, rather than each individual office doing their own thing. We'll utilize new tools, new technology to allow for you to drive your own healthcare, to have access to your own health information, and to better understand what your treatment options really are. If we do our jobs right, then what you'll experience is a truly team approach with how we share information and ideas that help to deliver the right care at the right time. Before that patient left, they said that they felt different than they typically do after their annual visit. It made them think about what are the pieces of my life that would improve, not only my blood pressure, but my well-being. What are the supports that I would need to improve my physical health, mental health, and my ability to truly feel well? If you have these lingering questions and want to learn about what integrated healthcare really is, keep watching this video. If you do, you will walk away with a more complete understanding of how to help not only yourself, but how to support the system in becoming more focused on your well-being rather than your next lab value. Well, if you're still watching, I assume that you're interested in learning more about integrated care and what it means for you. As I shared before, the purpose of this video is to help you understand more about what you can expect from providers who are using integrated care practices and tools. Let's first put all this in context of the journey so many of you have been on for a long time, and what AHCCCS has been doing over the past several years, and more importantly, where AHCCCS is focusing attention to continue to advance integrated care for you. As many of you may know, AHCCCS has been on a multi-year journey to integrate healthcare. And you may have also seen the step diagram showing AHCCCS's multi-year approach to integrate the physical and behavioral member benefit into a single health plan. This is taking effect for different populations over time. And the intent is to advance integrated care by having one health plan rather than two, that is fully responsible to provide integrated care or whole person care by addressing physical and behavioral health and linkages to social services. Now, alongside these multi-year efforts to integrate a member's physical and behavioral health benefit, AHCCCS has supported other initiatives to advance integrated care or whole person care at the point of care within the delivery system. In other words, doing things to support providers in learning and trying new ways of approaching your care. Access supports the system in continuing to get better at providing care that helps you have good experiences and helps you improve your life, improve the physical, behavioral, and social aspects of your life. Now that most of the movement is to have members get their care managed through one health plan, we'll be shifting significant efforts to support health plans and providers to advance integrated practices and tools. Access will be continuing to implement strategies that encourage and support providers in adopting and improving some practices as well as new tools. Let's take a look at some of these integrated or whole person care practices and tools that Access is encouraging. So these practices include approaches like whole person and well-being focused care. Not just physical health. Connecting and collaborating, connecting with a member, connecting with other providers, supporting change and innovation, and continually learning and adapting to new processes and practices. Again, a very quick look at the overall components of integrated care at the point of care. The tools include tools and technology, and treating to outcomes, which includes use of provider incentives to support providers in using integrated practices in achieving good outcomes. So the basic question that we all want to know the answer to is, how does this new idea of integrated care change how I interact with the healthcare system? Let's take a short journey. Let's imagine that instead of 10 phone calls, a stack of papers mailed to you, or a slew of complex documents sent in an email, you interact with an app, a web page, or a single point of contact at the time and place of your choosing. So in addition to you experiencing easier ways to access care through technology, your providers will have a renewed focus on you and your needs, not just your health or behavioral needs, but other needs such as help with housing and transportation. Another key feature of integrated practices is that you and your provider can discuss what other providers and/or team members can do to help you access the needed care and supports you're looking for. Now, you may be a person that prefers to focus on your health care and can easily go and see a doctor and talk about your asthma and how it's really bothering you. But you generally stay clear of talking about feeling sad and how that is really affecting your relationships. Or maybe you're a person with a completely opposite perspective. Maybe you've been seeing providers to help you with your anxiety and are making progress, but don't really want to see a doctor for your health care, and you feel comfortable in that space. Or you may be someone who says, I don't want either of those, for whatever reason you might have. With integrated care, we're interested in helping you have better health and wellness. We'll figure out together how to have your health, behavioral health, and social needs addressed so you can have the life you want. This may all sound fanciful, but it is the direction we are encouraging you to take in order to have the life you want. Because of this, you can spend your time with your provider asking questions, deciding on options, and building a collaborative plan that focuses on your whole health and well-being, rather than just rehashing everything that you've already shared previously. In this new approach, you'll have access to support workers like a community health worker or a peer support specialist to seamlessly connect you to a medical specialist, a behavioral health provider, and other supports you may need, like community centers that have activities you enjoy. If needed, they can even help you find housing support, food support, or transportation help. This new approach includes having your team work together. This support worker can also help with coordinating your appointments, gather the relevant studies and labs while still being available to help answer any question you may have, so that you can feel comfortable with the next steps in your care. In a disconnected system, seeing a specialist can sometimes be a daunting task. It can mean waiting months to get your appointment and can require having testing, digging up old records, and making a lot of phone calls. All expected to be done by you prior to that first appointment. In an uncoordinated system of care, you may end up having appointments that lead to nowhere. Sometimes you arrive at an appointment only to find out that there were other tests or other information you should have brought to the table in order for them to be informed and you to all come to a good decision on the next steps. With an integrated care approach, this would have been already discussed with your provider and the support worker prior to the appointment. If you need an MRI, an X-ray, or a laboratory study done, these will have been ordered and completed so that you could have had the most effective interaction at your first specialist office visit. If you're struggling with depression, anxiety, or substance use, we want to make sure that you can get a timely appointment with the right individual who can begin treatment and walk you through the process of stabilization and recovery. You shouldn't have to go to 5 different places and get 5 different opinions about the best way to possibly find your next 5 steps. In an integrated system of care, your provider, with the help of team members like support workers, will be able to coordinate these interactions, obtain the information needed prior to the initial visit, set up a telehealth or digital visit, and begin working on the problem at hand. In an uncoordinated care system, this would have taken weeks, if not months, to complete. When your care is integrated and focused on your well-being, this can be accomplished over days or hours. With integrated health practices, providers are encouraged to try new things that can help a person improve their health and well-being. These new things could be finding some apps on your phone that track your health or provide ideas for activities or healthy foods. Another example of new approaches that providers are encouraged to use is to understand your preference for receiving care all in one place, or if you prefer a different type of provider, that it doesn't have to exist all in one place. You can go where you want. This might mean they have to increase coordination with another entity, or maybe you find a provider that has many services in one location. There is no one size or one way. It's a conversation to help you access your care in a way that works for you. Your choices, your preferences. You'll have someone to quarterback your care that is only focused on supporting you in the way that fits best. As we co-develop the healthcare system of the future, we will be transitioning from a disconnected, siloed, and sometimes demeaning environment for healthcare to a team-based approach that keeps you in charge of your experience and sets you up to take charge of your health rather than letting it hold you back from accomplishing your life's goals. With this future in mind, think about what you could achieve. How could being connected to a community health worker or a peer support person help you navigate through a complex system? What are the things that you could be able to do if healthcare was delivered using integrated practices and tools? Together, let's continue to advance integrated practices and tools so that all Access members have better health and well-being. Ask your providers about integrated care. Let's get started with improving your health and well-being and living life your way. Thank you.